Welcome back, My name is Tazzy Cook, you made you looky, and this week's episode of Weapon Strip is going to be featuring a very fun weapon to use. It is a PDW weapon, and it is my favorite one for that matter, the UMP-45. Courtesy of a subscriber leaving a comment last week stating, check it out, use the Cobra sights, red dotted sights, laser sight, or suppressor. And I gotta tell you one thing, man, I didn't get the chance to use the M1911, I completely forgot about it, so don't hold that against me. So let's just tackle the stats behind the UMP-45 before I give you guys my thoughts and my conclusions of how it handled throughout the week. The stats are as followed. The damage is 34% at mid-range, dropping down to 12.5% at long range. Ammunition capacity is 25 plus 1 round in the chamber. The reload time is 1.85 seconds if it is loaded, and 2.7 if it is completely dry. And the rate of fire for the UMP-45 is 600 rounds per minute. Alright, so looking at those stats, you know, two things comes to my mind. One's a positive, one's a negative, of course. The first thing I'm going to mention is the negative, and I'll leave on a positive note for the stats anyways. So the negative, in my opinion, is the rounds per minute is only 600. So that's not very ideal for a lot of the other PDW weapons that are in the game. And the positive behind the stats, in my opinion, is the 34% bullet damage, allowing you to kill enemies very quick. I mean, throughout the week, I was able to take out enemies within 3 bullets if they're in my mid-range, and long range is a different story, of course. One thing I will mention, though, is using this sprint specialization really complemented my running gun type of game style I like to use. And if you're that type of player, I'd highly recommend it because it does get you closer to the objective. And that's exactly what you want to do using the UMP-45 because it performs at its highest peak at mid-range. So if your targets are close to you and around you in your proximity, you're going to have a better chance of killing them rather than engaging a target, say, 50 meters back. Now for my most favorite part of the segment is how many cookies out of 5 does the UMP-45 receive? I just want to first kind of explain to you guys that I did use a suppressor in the intro video. So if you're going to leave a comment saying, Tag, you were not using the suppressor, just keep that in mind. It was in the intro video and I didn't really get that many good clips with it, so I started using the flash suppressor. Now keep in mind, guys, what works for me might not necessarily work for you, but without any further ado, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 cookies. Yes, that is correct. Now hear me out before you have an aneurysm, okay? It complements my game style, which is a run and gun type of gamer. So I mean, I was being able to jump right into the heat of the combat and shooting enemies at my mid range with the bullet damage of 34%. I was able to drop enemies very quickly. Now for my ideal loadout for the UMP-45, I would have to suggest exactly what my subscribers suggested for me to use throughout the week. A suppressor, a Cobra or a red dotted sight, and also a laser sight as my loadout, okay? And the laser sight was something I loved using because the hip accuracy behind the UMP-45 is unbelievable, and you'll see if you do give it a shot and you are in close quarter combat and you're shooting it from the hip, that laser sight makes it even that much more accurate. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of Weapon Strip. I want to say thank you very much for everyone subscribing, spreading the word of my videos, and leaving likes and comments. It's really helping my channel grow, and I never really stressed it in the past of how much I do actually appreciate it. So I want to say, my hat's off to you guys, my viewership. You guys are awesome. And until next time, I'm Tazzy Cookie, and I'm signing out.